In some news that I thought was surprising. A lot of you probably found this surprising as well. And by the time I post this video, who knows, maybe Zuck will have changed his mind on this one. Mark Zuckerberg told employees that Facebook is not going to change after more than 500 advertisers boycott the social media giant over its hate speech policies, predicting they'll be back soon enough. This little Zucky stepping up there, huh? He's not exactly the cookie like they like to say he is, but we'll see. Zuckerberg held a virtual town hall for employees Friday to address concerns. He said Facebook won't change due to a threat to a small percent of revenue. Zuckerberg said damage from the boycott was not financial but reputational. He said that if he gave in to boycott demands, it looks like you're capitulating. The 36-year-old said advertisers will be back soon on the platform. Zuckerberg has agreed to meet boycott organizers to discuss their concerns. Mark Zuckerberg has told Facebook employees that the company is not going to change its policies on hate speech, despite an advertising boycott which had seen the company's share price drop by $60 billion and wiped out more than $7 billion from his personal wealth. That was last week. The stock's gone up. Since then, I think it's back about right where it was before. The Facebook CEO addressed a staff town hall on Friday in light of the growing Stop Hate for Profit campaign. More than 500 companies have now signed up, calling on the tech giant to do more to prevent racist and hate-filled posts on its site. We're not going to change our policies or approach on anything because of a threat to a small percent of our revenue, or to any percent of our revenue, said Zuckerberg, according to the information. And there you see Mr. BDE, who would have thought, right? For now. My guess is that all these advertisers will be will be back on the platform soon enough. My bad. He added that the boycott was a reputational and partner issue rather than a financial one, because most of Facebook's revenue comes from small businesses and not large brands. The top 100 brands on Facebook in 2019 likely brought in only 6% of Facebook's total $70 billion in annual revenue. $70 billion! Can you imagine that? According to a Morningstar research note citing Pathmatics data. Facebook said last year its top 100 advertisers accounted for less than 20% of total ad revenue. Man, that's a lot of money though. Woo! Lego. Oh, Lego joined the boycott. Huh. Is Lego still around? I guess I've been boycotting them since I was 8 and didn't even know it. America dies on Duncan. Remember when somebody did that? And then the lawyers, of course, threatened to sue because how dare you have an opinion? How dare you? Coke and Unilever, cool. More companies of products that I don't consume. Unilever, not so sure because they're pretty diverse in terms of their product offering. Don't go to Dunkin', like to live. Don't sip sugary drinks, like to live. The boycott was started by civil rights groups including the NAACP, the Anti-Defamation League, and Color of Change on June 17th, with North Face, the first large company to sign up. Others soon followed. North Face, nah, I'm good. I don't need to spend $200 to $300 for a jacket. Facebook saw $60 billion in market value erased in just 2 days earlier this week as major brands joined the boycott, but its shares have largely rebounded since then. Zuckerberg lost $7.2 billion of his own net worth on paper. And like they said here, he got most of it back, so he'll be all right. More than 500 companies, including major brands such as Coke, don't drink it. Ford would never buy one. Starbucks, never been. Verizon, nope. Adidas, maybe I'll have to cancel them from my list. And Unilever. Again, like I said, I don't know what brands they have in their portfolio. On Friday, as the boycott gained steam, Facebook said it would attach labels to newsworthy posts from politicians that violated its hate speech policies, creating its own policies and designating something hate speech when we know that there's no such thing as hate speech. Interesting. So you see, Facebook isn't totally allowing this to go on. They're designating this hate speech, creating their own rules for what they consider hate speech. And my feeling is that when we look into a little bit more about these organizations, that we're going to see that it's something that is likely directed more at Trump and his supporters, that anything that comes out of their mouths will be seen as hate. And they'll be working behind the scenes to make sure that those individuals don't have finances, because that's how you gain power, right? And that's, I guess, in a way, I don't like to use this term, but I guess in a way that's how modern fascism would work. Using this threat of, hey, you better stay in line, or we're going to make sure you can't get any advertisers, we're going to make sure you can't make money unless you agree with us. A little fascistic in a way, kind of dictatorial, wouldn't you say? But like I said, we'll see what these organizations are all about. In response to the boycott, a Facebook spokeswoman said the company invests billions each year to ensure safety and continuously works with outside experts to review and update its policies. The company has banned 250 white supremacist organizations from Facebook and Instagram, she said, adding that the company's substantial investment, artificial intelligence technology, allows Facebook to find nearly 90% of hate speech before users report it. We know we have more work to do and will continue to work with civil rights groups, GARM, whatever that is, and other experts to develop even more tools, technology, and policies to continue this fight, the spokesperson said. It's kind of surprising that there's 250 white supremacist organizations. You know, I'm actually surprised there's 250 white supremacist people that exist. It does make me wonder if this is the same group that keeps trying to form a new group and a new group and a new group. That there's really only like 5 of them out there, and they keep trying to form a new Facebook group every time their page gets taken down. So each group tried to do it 50 times. 50 times 5, that's 250. Have any of you legitimately ever met a white supremacist? As white as I am. And in some areas where I've traveled, where I've seen people, met people, where they've been highly white, I don't think I've ever come across a white supremacist before. Has anyone else ever met one, seen one? I don't even know what I would do if I saw one. My feeling is that most of those guys are probably in prison for, other kind of crimes, but what do I know? All right, we're going to skip a little bit ahead in the article. It looks like they do tell us about the people behind this stuff. The article is going to be archived, of course, in the description if you want to read that. So it looks like they've got an organization here called Color of Change. There's this guy. What's he talking about? Pull funding from some kind of council that is responsible for stand your ground laws. Oh yeah, way to go, because you wouldn't want to be able to defend yourself. He got MasterCard and PayPal to stop accepting payments from white nationalist groups. Okay. Jim Steyer. This guy related to that dork Tom Steyer. Remember him? He ran for president for about 3 seconds and all he ever did was, what did he spend? Millions, tens of millions of dollars just trying to attack Trump. He looks kind of like that other guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he was his brother somehow. Police brutality, yada, yada, yada. Okay, a phony cause. We got that. Derek Johnson, NAACP. All right, let's see what he's against. Oh, DACA, way to go, buddy. Aims to improve the lives for African Americans through public engagement. How about you improve the lives of everybody? Facebook is ultimately damaging its credibility with the American public, and any company that wants to avoid doing the same should send a message that we will no longer accept disinformation during this critical time. In other words, give us what we want, or else we are going to boycott you some more and say more bad things about you. All right, we got it. Greenblatt here, Anti-Defamation League. Them and the Southern Poverty Law Center. Yeah, I don't even need to get started on that. Sleeping Giants founder, someone who was anonymous. Oh, look at this. The social media activism organization aims to persuade companies to remove advertisements from conservative news outlets. And it's like I said, if you don't believe the same things we do, then we're going to go ahead and pressure people to take away your money. Fascistic in every way. So there is the modern face of fascism, everybody. What would we call him? Far leftist? He convinced AT&T and Kellogg to cease advertising on Breitbart. Okay, we know enough about him. Jessica Gonzalez, a racial justice advocate, of course she is. Former Lifeline recipient. She's been behind a number of efforts to prevent President Trump from making cuts to the program. Oh, bravo, ma'am. Great contributions to society. Who are these people? My God. All right, let's look at some comments. Just use their counterparts' companies as cheaper advertising, and they will soon think twice before going bust. Lefties versus liberals, loving it. Where's the popcorn? Good on him, provided he doesn't just roll over after his meeting with said advertisers. Nick Clegg, don't know who it is. Go for it, Facebook, don't be bullied. Funny those who are boycotting you are bullies. Haha, the irony. And that's what I always talk about. It's amazing that social media, I guess, has given people this way to organize. And I feel like it's a good thing for some causes, right? But people misuse it. And people ego, power trip. If you don't do and say what we want, if you don't get in line and do everything we say and want, then you must be against us and you must be destroyed. And that's what social media has allowed for weak individuals to do. Egos, dictator type people, fascists, like I said, people who have no respect for the differences in opinion of other individuals. Nope. If they don't think like me, I must go ahead and start a boycott. I must go ahead and get their sponsorships pooled. I must go ahead and make sure that there's more money coming our way. So that's the way I always see it. It's kind of like the cynical side. It's power, control, money. People want it. If they see the other side having some of it, oh, they must be horrible. But here's the secret, lefties. If we say that everything coming from the right or the center is hate speech, and we bully these companies enough, we can force them into a position where they're beneath our foot, where they're just kissing our boots just to survive, just to fight for the scraps. Now, that being said though, these companies are catering to these mobs here, these online outrage mobs. So, what does that mean? Individuals on the right, center, more normal type, liberal type people? What are you going to do about it? Are you going to sit here and just make comments in the comments section? Or are you going to actually contact these companies and say, hey, no, don't do this. This isn't true. Are you going to speak with your wallet? Are you going to say, hey, these companies like the ones I listed above, what was it, Adidas, Verizon, North Face, and many others, are you going to say, hey, I'm not buying your goods anymore? If there's a group out there, say you're on the right, because this is more of kind of like a right-left issue. Say you're on the right and these companies are trying to tell you, hey, everything that comes from conservatives, everything that comes from Trump, it's hate. You have these activists over here saying, oh, we've got to get them banned. And these companies go along with it. And you continue shopping and spending your money at these businesses. I would have to question your commitment to your own cause. I'm not going to act like I'm out there writing letters and getting on social media and doing all of this stuff to kind of counteract some of this stuff I see that really is unjust and is, like I said, fascistic in nature. And that's my own problem. But can you look at yourself and say, hey, I'm doing all I can do to ensure that we're able to have some kind of reasonable discussion in society where it's okay to differ and you don't have to try to go after people's money? Are you doing all you can do to fight for your side? That's what I would always ask of individuals. Now, that being said, we'll see how long Zuckerberg lasts with this. Maybe he can keep it up. I'll have to give him some credit. But he has done some things, and like they talk about with their council and committee or whatever organization, whatever they're doing, spending their billions on each year to kind of do away with hate speech. They have done some stuff. They have done some catering, but at some point, I guess, you have to draw a line because if you don't draw that line, then at some point after they wipe all of the right-leaning individuals, conservatives off the map, then it's the centrists that must be the new far right. And those individuals would have to be wiped off as well and those individuals would have to be wiped out as well because they definitely aren't going to agree with far leftist extremist ideology. So good for the Zuck for taking a stand. It's kind of surprising the guy actually had a backbone, but I do see him in a lot of ways as still having given in to a lot of the demands from the left. But he's certainly been a lot better at it than good old bend over and do me in the backside Dorsey over at Twitter, right? So who would have thought that Zuckerberg would actually be the one there fighting the good fight? The question is, for you individuals who disagree with these loony lefty type organizations, are you going to fight the fight too? Are you going to let your money do the talking? Or are you just going to go out and keep buying Adidas and all these other brands, Verizon, whatever it is? All right, everybody, that's all I got. A little bit heavy, right? But Zuck, we'll see how long he lasts. All right, take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.